The King of Curses drained all his efforts and energy because of his opponent, who was very... I can't even... I can't even finish it. It's like a 5-year-old wrote this dialogue. Like, I can't even take it seriously. I tried. I really tried to say it with a serious face. I've done about 10 takes right now trying to start this video. But no matter how I do it, I cannot read this dialogue with a straight face. It's unbelievable, man. It is actually unbelievable just how bad this is. This is absolute ass. Like, that is literally what this is. So, let's get right into this. So, basically, with any popular work, when something is extremely popular, you have fans that think they know better. They think they know better in every way over the writer, and they decide to be very disgruntled, and they create their own ending. Now, I want to make sure I go one step and talk about something before I go any further with this topic. There's nothing wrong with people creating fanfics, fan theories, stories, fan art of what they would want. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? However, there is a line, and it's kind of a noticeable line. It's invisible, and it can go back and forth sometimes, but there's a line to where there is a difference between creating your own headcanon, your own fiction and all that, because you want to create it, then you think you know better than the author. There's a big line there. There is a line, and obviously what was written here definitely crosses that in a lot of different areas, and so let's cover that. So first off, you know things are about to get spicy when you have a community note on a post with 9.1 million views on this post. And honestly, Toshiro over here say drop the pen. I'm going to be honest with you. I doubt they used the pen fully throughout the entirety of the process of creating this chapter. I'll get into that in a second. But, you know, things are getting wild and spicy when you have stuff like this going on. So, anyways, let's explain. Jujutsu no Kaisen. That is what this fan ending is being labeled as. Now, here's the thing. What makes this... why it's causing so much controversy and drama right now is because it's not just the fact that it's trying to have them say they know better than the author and the artist, but they also couldn't even draw most of the time. Like here, I'll show examples. There is panels within this fan-made ending that is just straight up traced from One Punch Man. Like, this is straight up traced. Insane. Look at the belt for a second. It's the same. They legitimately couldn't even do their own paneling. They had to copy not just from JJK, but from One Punch Man. And God knows probably what else they potentially traced or done while making this chapter. That's not even getting into the atrocity of the dialogue, which I outlined at the beginning of the video. But let's get back into the tracing aspect. So, there is more examples of this. This is a big one. This is basically how Chapter 1 started off for this fan ending. And, you can just instantly see that they trace scenes from other sources and stuff and put it into the chapter. They literally traced, you know, One Punch Man, as you can see here. We had stuff like this. There's even actual evidence they traced fan art, actual fan art that people have done themselves and traced it and put in to this fan-made ending. Wild. Actually nuts stuff. And they have the audacity to link this site, for you can open it up and read this chapter. And they don't just title it fan ending or anything like that. They call it Jujutsu no Kaisen, the new end. Bro. Okay, but it doesn't just stop there. There is allegations that this and some other panels as well is made through AI. So they were so lazy, in fact, that they couldn't just create a new ending. They had to use AI, they had to trace fan art and original manga work as well, just to be able to get this chapter out. And, you know, I want to take a page from Tolkien, you know, the author of Lord of the Rings. It's not going to be the exact words he said, but it's very similar. Evil can not create something new, it can only copy something that already existed. And in this case, that is exactly what this is. They could not create their own work, and you know for a fact that if you're already on the line to where you have to trace, still, and even actually use AI to create something, you never had any ability to create anything to begin with. There is no way we can even have a discussion if a fan-made ending could be taken seriously if you can't even do the steps of creating an ending with your own material, your own work, your own writing. This comes down to just someone that is very disingenuous and just very disgruntled and very upset with the conclusion of JJK that they have to make their own headcanon and force it to say this is what it is, this is the true ending, this is how it should be. Some wild stuff. Now with all that out of the way, we do need to get into the bad dialogue, the absolute disgrace of the English language, honestly. Now, I know English can be hard sometimes, let's be honest, and a lot of people don't probably have the best education, and maybe some people just can't write properly. You know, there's a possibility. And there's also a possibility that whoever created this, maybe their native language isn't English. That's a possibility as well. However, I do want to state, if you're going to release a work and call it basically the new ending and try to market this as like a new main ending that's better, at least try to have better dialogue. Have typesetters and stuff like that. You could easily get something like that, but the dialogue is so heinous that you just can't even take it seriously. Even disregarding all the other allegations that's been thrown against this fan ending, the dialogue is so bad, it showcases that whoever wrote this is no Gege. They are not good at writing whatsoever. It is like a 5-year-old wrote this fan ending. That's what it is. It's like a 5-year-old wrote something headcanon they had in the classroom or whatever, or, you know, sitting at the table drinking from their sippy cup or whatever, and that's how they got this. That's literally what they got and what they wrote down. It is really bad. But there is another layer to this that really just goes to show, once again, how hard writing can actually be. Let's talk about this narration for a second. There is a lot of narration within this fan ending chapter, and it really showcases one big aspect from Gege's writing, but also Yoshihiro Togashi, the author of Hunter x Hunter. Narrating isn't as easy as slapping on some words and trying to explain something. Explaining something that is very apparent and very obvious to the reader feels very disingenuous, and it feels like you're insulting their intelligence. And so it's really hard to write narration without it making it feel very preachy or trying to basically say you're so stupid you can't understand this. So there is a line as well when it comes to narration, and all the narration that is used within this fan chapter is just really bad because it states the obvious, like, you know, when Sukuna grabs, like, you know, an item in his hand like a weapon and all that, you know, the narration has to explain. It's like, Gege doesn't do this. He doesn't do that at all. You know, actions speak louder than words sometimes. The way the art and the paneling is, it explains that. But obviously, someone that has to use AI and trace art wouldn't understand the messaging and symbolic nature of show, don't tell with just art itself. So, I can see why they could be hard for some to pick up on. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at, shots stopping firing for now. Actually, no, let's fire some more shots. It goes to show that Togashi's usage of narration, like in the Chimera Ant art, for instance, and the latest stuff within Hunter x Hunter, you can see how really good he is as a writer and artist, because he's able to give narration that doesn't feel preachy and doesn't feel like it's insulting people's intelligence, because he explains things that does expand upon the world that people wouldn't normally catch or get, you know, understand. So I do think that the dialogue and everything that's been poured into this fan ending is just straight up booty cheeks. It is the worst thing I think I have seen, which is wild, because actually, you know what? I was going to say because Oshinoko came out this year, but this is January 1st, 2025. So, actually, this is the worst thing I've read this year. I know it's the first day of the year, but it still fits. It still tracks. But if this, hypothetically, if I was making this video and I read this in 2024, I would say that this is worse than Oshinoko's ending we got. Like, and that's bad. Like, that's really bad ending. Like, that's really bad. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this. This is crazy, man. That's not even getting into some plot holes and stuff with the writing. Like, they killed off Ichiji. Like, bro, why do you have to die, bro? Like, I know he ain't like a massive character, but holy crap, dude, like, Ichiji did not deserve to die like this. Like, I'll leave it at that. thank you so much for watching. I wanted to review and talk about this. What a start to 2025, honestly. If this is what I have to expect from this year, oh man, we're in for a ride. Anyways, I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.